What are some highlights from your years there?
I would say that my highlights would be winning sectional championship with my soccer team. Another one would just be the soccer team itself. Like, I've loved like every year that I've had with my soccer team. It has been so like amazing. And like the last 2 years, I wasn't like a part of the leadership group, but last year I was, or I guess this year, my senior year, I was a part of the leadership group, and it was a lot of fun being able to lead my team in that way. Another highlight would just be being a part of my senior class. Like, I just love all of my classmates, and I really wish we could just spend more time together. And being like class president had been like a really good highlight of this year. Another one would be my junior year, would be the spring play. It had like so much impact on my life. It was such a great and close connected group, and it was just fun to do it all together and like be able to have such a great show. And like, we really like just made God the center of it all. And like, even though like I got terribly sick the day of like the play,
Yeah.
I had a fever and it was like terrible, but like I
But
took a
you
lot of
still did
medicine
awesome.
and was able to do it.
Yeah, you
It
still
was
did
so
great.
fun, and like, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that several of you got sick. Like, you were all just getting sick right
Yeah,
now.
I was, yeah, we were rehearsing and I felt like freezing, and I was like, why am I so cold? And it was just like, I need to do this play. So I went home, got some sleep, and was able to just push through and get through it.
It was a great show. What are some of your highlights during your years at LCA?
Well, two that came to mind pretty quick were sports. This year, we beat Trinity on my last home soccer game, and it was really close all the way to the end, so that was a blast. Also, our second to last game this season for basketball, we beat Northfield in a sectional game, and I think it turned a lot of heads, our coach said, and that was pretty cool as well. Some of the things, during school that I'll always remember was, eating outside with my friends at lunch, freshman, sophomore year. We had a lot of fun times out there. And also, I always really enjoyed doing the combined community service food drive. It was just fun to meet some of the younger kids that we were put in a car with, and just walk around the neighborhoods and even talk to people and say, we're from Lakeland, we're doing this, and I always put a smile on their face, and that was always fun. So
yeah, I know. I missed that this year, that we couldn't do that. It was really hard to call them and say, hey, we can't do it this year. So
that's right. Yeah,
sorry that we lost that in your last year.
That's all right.
Yeah, and your seasons were amazing. I mean, both of those, soccer and basketball, it was awesome. I mean,
yeah, definitely memorable. So
yeah. What are some highlights from your years at LCA?
So when I was thinking about these, I had so much fun. I went back and I looked at the Facebook page of Lakeland all the way back to my 7th grade year, and it brought me so much joy. A lot of those have been like the plays. The couple plays I've been in were so much fun, especially for Fabulous the Dale in my freshman year. I also really liked being on homecoming court a few times. That was always really fun.
Yeah.
And then I really liked Banquet last year. That was so much fun, getting to dance with my friends and stuff. And I think also Advanced Art all of last year was so great. It was just so much fun.
What a great idea to go back and look at everything and take that little trip down memory lane. That's really cool. I bet it was very emotional too.
Oh yeah, it was really emotional. It was quite a roller coaster, but it was fun.
I could definitely imagine. What are some of the highlights from your years at LCA?
I think my biggest ones have to be during the soccer seasons. I mean, each year I can think of specific memories, but different guys and different seniors kind of being there, and I think the bond that we all get each and every year. I know I'll definitely always remember that specifically, years into the future. So for me, those were definitely the highlights of Lakeland.
So not necessarily just the games, but the bonds with the different guys and upperclassmen when you were younger.
Yeah, just on and off the field too,
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Highlights from your years there.
Well, I went there from 7th grade to 12th grade, so it's been a long time. But I think that getting involved in theater and doing that sort of thing was really helpful for me to like find a group of friends and find some people who have similar interests to me. And it was just a really fun time to be able to get involved in that way.
So getting involved
Right.
has been a highlight in theater, and then it even progressed after or beyond Lakeland to Wagon Wheel. So
Right.
that's wonderful. What are some of the highlights from your years at Lakeland Christian?
I think, well, obviously my big highlights would be theater. Just, yeah, I'm a theater kid. I always will be. That's usually my highlight. But, yeah, that and just the friends I've made. Because like, even when I went to Manchester in my early school years, I still talk to those friends, but I don't necessarily feel as close to them as I do from Lakeland, it seems. Because there's less people. So it's not one of those kind of, I'll use the term overlap, to where, you know, at Manchester you have this friend group, but X amount of friends are also in this friend group, stuff like that.
Right.
You're all kind of just together and you stay there.
Yeah, that makes
That
sense.
makes sense.
So you said your friends, and you also said theater. Is there a particular show that stands out to you, or?
I think the last play I did, The Curious Savage, was probably just my biggest highlight. I enjoyed the play and I thought the cast was really good, but I mean, just looking back on it now, yeah, it was basically my senior year play because I didn't have one this year, but yeah,
Sorry.
just overall, it was a really good play.
Yeah, it was really good, and I'm sorry you lost your senior year. I mean, I think
That's all right.
people have lost sports seasons and theater plays, and I know it's a bummer.
There's all sorts of stuff that's thrown off.
Yeah. As far as Lakeland Christian Academy goes, what would you say some of your highlights are from your years there?
Like, I don't know that there are any specific like moments that come to mind. I know usually people are like, oh yeah, this thing specifically, and I'm like, I mean, I can't really like think of anything. But The Curious Savage last year, the play, that was super fun. And just doing choir, I only did it, well, I guess 2 years in total, because I did it 8th grade year and then I quit halfway through. And then yeah, we did get this full year, so I guess I did it 2 years altogether, but that was fun.
So let's talk about your time at LCA. What are some of your highlights from your years at LCA?
Well, I'd say that probably junior year probably was a highlight on its own. I mean, our girls soccer team was able to, you know, win sectional champions, which was a great highlight, and I was able to be part of the spring play as Mrs. Patty. And also my second semester of my junior year, I was in 3 Bible classes. I was taking one at Grace and I had 2 at Lakeland, and it was just so much fun to be so like immersed in all of it, and that was great. And also like banquet was fun. I was helped plan it and set it up, and then I was also able to be a part of it, so that was great. And then also just like I think SWAT also has been a highlight within the last 3 years of just being a part of that that environment, and just that's probably those would probably be my highlights.
Awesome. So a lot of things from your junior year for sure, or even now. Okay. So let's talk about Lakeland Christian. What are some of the highlights from your years at Lakeland?
Definitely in 8th grade, we took this really cool trip to, I don't remember the place exactly. It was like a Bible thing, and it talked about like Jesus's life through like these statues, and it was like a whole tour.
Oh, cool.
It was like designed after it. I'm sure Mr. Miller would know more about it, but that was honestly one of the best moments.
So that was with Mr. Miller?
Yeah.
Okay.
And along with that would be like 7th grade, I took a class like called Decade Trek, and it was over like the decades from the 60s to the 90s.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. So like a history class from 60s through the 90s. Neat.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Just like UPS and like the food drives we do.
Yeah.
It was too bad we didn't get to do it this year.
I know. I was really depressed when I had to email the the combined community services and tell them we just can't, and it was so hard for me because that's one of my highlights too. Yeah. What are some highlights from excuse me, what are some highlights from your years at LCA?
Probably my cross country and track seasons in my sophomore year. Those were probably my most fun seasons because like I wasn't like super competitive then because it's sophomore year, so I was able to have a lot of fun and had some good friends on the team that year. And those were some of the best times.
Yep, that's wonderful. Yeah, we often see Sam running around the school.